It's the second Saturday of the month, which means it's time for Finomoney, the Fintech show. I'm Ajay and we are in the month of March. And speaking of March, let's march into what we have for you on the show today. First up, the big news that made headlines this week. Slice becomes most likely the first fintech to invest in a bank. Then Amazon Pay pays a hefty price for not following RBI's KYC norms. What are those KYC norms and what is in it for you? Check it out in our special report. And lastly, is your travel plan putting a hole in your budget? Then TNPL might just save you. Check it out in our trivia segment Finogyan to know all about it. And now it's time for the Big Five, the headlines, the movers and shakers that has been rocking the world of fintech in the past fortnight. In our first news, Premji Invest, the investment arm of Wipro, has backed supply chain financing platform Mintify by raising $110 million in its Series D funding round. As per a report by VC Circle, using these funds, the company is planning to bolster its presence across key sectors. It also plans to add B2B payments, dealer management system, and bolster its tech infrastructure. Last year, it had raised $40 million in a Series C round. And the big news, possibly for the first time in the history of fintech, a fintech company has invested in a bank. Which fintech is that? It's none other than fintech unicorn Slice, which has picked up a 5% stake in Northeast Small Finance Bank. As per a report in Economic Times, the amount invested is less than 30 crore rupees. The unicorn is exploring multiple integrations and customized offerings for users through investment and partnership with the bank. And new age stock investing fintechs want the 20% levy on foreign remittances under the liberalized remittance scheme for retail investors investing in US equity instruments be removed. As per a report on the Economic Times, the proposed levy announced in the budget will curb the growth of the industry and affect retail investors. Now, adding to that, Finance Ministry is also pondering a slab-based approach on taxing such investments. And RBI Governor Shaktikant Das launched a mission, Har Payment Digital, as a part of Digital Payments Awareness Week 2023. The aim of the mission is to make every citizen in the country a user of digital payments. As per a survey by RBI, 42% of 90,000 respondents have used digital payments, while 35% were non-users and 23% weren't aware of digital payments. The theme of the Awareness Week is Adopt Digital Payments and Teach Others also. And after touching a 7-month high, UPI transactions have seen a dip in February. According to NPCI, the value of UPI transactions declined by 4.9% to 12.35 lakh crore rupees, while the number of transactions fell by 6.6%. It needs to be noted that February only had 28 days, which was the reason behind the fall and not because of some technical glitch. In January, a record 803 crore transactions worth 12.98 lakh crore rupees were done through UPI. Just when you think when things are going great, something comes your way to make everything so wrong. This adage holds true for Amazon Pay, which got an in-principle approval from RBI for a payment aggregator license just a couple of weeks ago. Now the same RBI has made it pay a heavy price in the form of a penalty for breaking the KYC norms. What KYC norms have they overlooked, and what is it in it for you, for individuals especially? Watch this special package and get informed. It was only a couple of weeks ago that RBI granted an in-principle approval to 32 payment aggregators to continue their business operations. One of them included Amazon India's fintech arm, Amazon Pay India Private Limited. Now,
The same RBI has levied a penalty of 3.06 crore rupees on the company for non-compliance in provisions of Prepaid Payment Instruments norms (PPI) and Know Your Customer (KYC) norms. Along with Amazon Pay, Ola Financial Services and Manappuram Finance were fined 1.67 crore rupees and 17.63 lakh rupees respectively, while OboPay Mobile Technologies was fined 5.93 crore rupees. The penalty was levied by RBI under Section 30 of the Payment and Settlements Act 2007. It had further clarified that the penalty was pronounced on deficiencies in regulations and not on validity of transactions entered into by the entities. Furthermore, in the case of Amazon Pay, the RBI had said that Amazon Pay was found non-compliant with the directions issued by RBI on KYC requirements. It also asked a question as to why a penalty should not be imposed for the non-compliance. But why has the RBI imposed a penalty on KYC requirements? And most importantly, what are the KYC requirements that companies like Amazon Pay did not adhere to? To answer these questions, we need to step into a time capsule and go back to the year 2017. As per media reports, fintech players like Amazon Pay were asked by RBI to normalize video KYC instead of going door to door. It also said that video KYC has to be done by fintech players themselves and not by third-party agencies. According to sources quoted by the media, Amazon had ramped up its technology and hiring efforts for video KYC. However, many fintech players like Amazon Pay face some initial delay in migration for which the RBI has penalized them. Now, coming to the importance of a video KYC, the RBI in its Master Direction Know Your Customer Direction 2016 has said that individuals can borrow or deposit money in their accounts for only a year if the account is opened only through OTP-based eKYC and not through a video-based KYC. Furthermore, deposit accounts would be closed if the video KYC is not completed within a year. If it's a borrower account, no further debits shall be allowed. Adding to that, a regulated entity can carry out a video-based KYC in the following cases. Number 1. Onboarding new individual customers, proprietors, and authorized signatories and beneficial owners in case of legal entity customers. Number 2. Conversion of existing accounts opened in non-face-to-face mode using Aadhaar OTP-based eKYC authentication as per Section 17. And number 3. Updating KYC for eligible customers on a periodic basis. It had further laid out a set of minimum standards for regulated entities to follow while incorporating the infrastructure, procedure, and records and data management for setting up the video KYC. In the recent past, KYCs were done through various agencies physically using a paper. Today, of course, most of the players do video KYC. And the penalization from RBI is a clear sign that fintech players have to do the KYC themselves and not through third parties or agencies.
Well, RBI has made one thing certain: whether you're Amazon Pay or OboPay, there is always a price to pay at the end if you make a mistake. Now, you might have come across the Marvel Cinematic Universe, better known as MCU. Superheroes come individually or together to save the world, giving an out-of-the-world movie experience like no other. Now, similarly, Money9 brings its own Provident Fund Cinematic Universe, or better call it as PFCU. A series of videos titled PF Puzzle in the show Take It Easy talks about the importance of Provident Fund with different characters facing different situations. The first 4 parts are out, so make sure to watch it on the Money9 English's YouTube channel and on the Money9 app. Download now. Alright, Holi just got over, which means summer is here and the heat is certainly simmering up. One way to beat the heat is to travel to some hill stations. However, you may tend to overshoot your budget. But don't you worry, today's Finogyan on TNPL will cover you up just in case.
With the blistering heat of summer fast approaching, many of you would have already started chalking out blueprints to hill stations and exotic beaches. The IMD has already predicted above normal temperatures for this year, which means you need to make haste in booking tickets and hotel rooms at affordable rates. But in this mad rush, not everyone would be lucky enough to get tickets or rooms at affordable rates owing to a huge demand. So then, does it mean it's okay for you to pay more to beat the sweat and the heat? The answer is no. Because retail inflation has already surged to a record high levels and it's only going to get worse in the coming months. However, despite all these inflationary pressures, you can still enjoy your vacation and that too free of cost at that time. How? Well, that's through TNPL loan. A TNPL or Travel Now Pay Later loan is where you can take a loan while booking a trip and pay for it later in installments. Further, you also have the option to avail no cost EMIs or pay an interest rate on the borrowed amount. This of course depends on the amount of the money borrowed and the loan duration. So how can you avail this loan? Well, you can avail the loan from travel aggregators Fintech arm or from banks, lending apps and Fintechs which has tie-up with the aggregator. The repayment tenure ranges from 1 to 3 months to a maximum of 6 months. A maximum amount of 4 lakh rupees can be taken as loan. It is good to take a summer break and go to some exotic location to break the sweat, but not at the cost of sweating your wallets. So, happy journey.
And with that, we've wrapped up today's episode of Finomoney, the Fintech Show. And hey, if you're free this weekend, do yourself a favor. Download the Money9 app and watch this episode of Finomoney and all other previous episodes. Don't forget to stay tuned to Money9 English's YouTube channel to watch the rerun of this episode this coming Tuesday. See you again on the 4th Saturday of this month. And until then, this is Ajay signing off. Take care, goodbye and adios.